Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Easy English Daily, the channel where learning English becomes simple, enjoyable, and part of your everyday life. Have you ever studied English for months, but still struggled to speak? Maybe you memorize hundreds of words. Maybe you watch English videos every day. Maybe you even study grammar for hours. But when someone asks you a simple question in English, your mind goes completely blank. Here's the truth. The problem isn't your English. The problem is your routine. Fluent English isn't built in one long study session. It's built through small habits repeated every single day. Today, we're going to show you the exact daily routine that thousands of successful English learners use to improve naturally, from the moment they wake up until they go to bed. No complicated grammar. No expensive courses. No stress. Just simple daily habits that really work. So grab your notebook. J'ai confortable. And let's build your English together. X en termes Tom. Us deux. And I'm Sarah. We're so happy you're here, because today's lesson might completely change the way you learn English. Tom. Mani English? Learners believe they need to study for 3 or 4 hours every day to become fluent. But that's not true. In fact, studying too much at once often leads to frustration and burnout. Sarah. Real progress comes from consistency, not intensity. Instead of one long study session. Successful learners surround themselves with English throughout the day. Little by little. Minute by minute. Day after day. That's how fluency grows. Tom. In today's episode, we're going to give you a complete daily English routine. We'll walk you through what to do every morning, how to practice during the day, easy afternoon activities, evening review habits, and even a weekend plan that keeps you improving. Sarah, the best part? This routine is perfect for beginners. You don't need expensive classes. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need a few minutes and the willingness to practice every day. Tom. So, if you're ready to make English part of your daily life, let's get started. Morning routine. Start your brain in English. Sarah. Morning is the most powerful time of the day for learning. Me? Because your brain is fresh. Your mind is calm. And it's ready to absorb new information, instead of reaching for social media the moment you wake up. Why not spend just a few minutes with English? Tom. Imagine your morning. You occupy. You stretch. You make a cup of coffee or tea while you're brushing your teeth, making breakfast, or getting dressed. You play a short English podcast. Not 30 minutes. No, just 5 or 10 minutes. That's enough. Sarah, here's something important. Don't worry if you don't understand every sentence. You don't have to. Your goal isn't perfection. Your goal is exposure. Simply listening to English early in the morning tells your brain, today we're thinking in English. Dumb. Think of it this way. A cup of coffee wakes up your body. A few minutes of English wakes up your language brain. The more often you do it, the easier English becomes. Morning vocabulary review. Sarah. After listening, spend about 10 minutes reviewing vocabulary. Notice we said reviewing, not learning, 50 new words. Review the words you've already learned. This strengthens your memory. Apps like Anki or Quizlet are perfect because they remind you of words just before you're likely to forget them. That's one of the fastest ways to build long-term vocabulary. Tom, when you see an old word again, your brain says, "Oh, I remember this." Each review makes that word stronger in your memory. And after enough reviews, you won't have to think about it anymore. You'll simply know it. Turn your devices into English teachers. Sarah, here's another simple habit that makes a huge difference. Change your phone's language to English. Yes, at first it might feel strange, but after a few days, you'll start recognizing dozens of useful words without studying them. Batterie, setting, brighten, notifications, airplane mode, Wi-Fi, update, password. You'll see these words every single day. Eventually, they become part of your vocabulary naturally. Dumb. That's the secret. The best English learners don't only study English. They live with English. Every small interaction becomes another learning opportunity. Morning routine, summary. Sarah? So here's your complete morning routine. Wake up. Listen to a short English podcast. Review vocabulary for about 10 minutes. Use your phone in English. 14 sites. Simple. Easy. And incredibly effective. Tom, you don't need hours. You just need consistency. When you begin every morning with English, the rest of the day becomes much easier. NDO parent. The next section part 2 will cover. So far, you've started your morning with English, and that's already a fantastic step. Now, let's talk about the middle of the day. This is when life gets busy. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're in school. Maybe you're taking care of your family. You probably don't have an hour to sit down and study. But here's the good news. You don't need an hour. Even 5 or 10 minutes can help you improve if you use them wisely. Sarah, think about your day for a moment. You wait for a bus. You stand in line at a store. You take a lunch break. You have a few quiet minutes between meetings or classes. Most people spend these moments scrolling through social media. But successful. English learners turn these little moments into learning opportunities. Small moments create big results. Read simple English news. Dumb. One of the best habits for midday learning is reading simple English news. Choose articles written for English learners. They're short. They're clear. And they're easy to understand. Spend just 10 or 15 minutes reading while you eat lunch or enjoy a short break. Sarah, here's an important tip. Don't stop every time you see a new word. If you look up every unfamiliar word, reading becomes slow and frustrating. Instead, try to understand the overall meaning first. Ask yourself, what is this article talking about? Understanding the main idea is much more important than knowing every single word. Tom, after you finish reading, choose only 1 or 2 new words. Not 10. Not 20. Just 1 or 2. Write them in your notebook or vocabulary app. Then make your own simple sentences. For example, if today's new word is discover, you could say, I discovered a new English podcast today. Oh, I want to discover more English words. Using new vocabulary immediately helps you remember it much longer. Practice shadowing. Sarah, now let's learn one of the most powerful speaking techniques in the world. It's called shadowing. Shadowing is simple. You listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say almost immediately, like you're becoming their shadow. You copy their pronunciation, their rythme, their speed, and even their emotion. Tom, don't worry if you can't repeat every word perfectly. Nobody can at the beginning. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is practice. Choose a short video about 3 to 5 minutes long. Listen to one sentence. Pause. Repeat it aloud. Then continue. Over time, your pronunciation becomes clearer. Your speaking becomes smoother. And your confidence grows naturally. Sarah, even 5 minutes of shadowing every day can completely change the way you speak. English. Little by little, your mouth becomes more comfortable making English sounds. And one day, you'll notice you're speaking without translating in your head. That's real progress. Speak a little every day. Tom, many learners wait until they're good enough before speaking English. But here's the truth. You become good by speaking. No before. Don't wait for perfect grammar. Don't wait for a perfect accent. Start with simple conversations. Sarah, if you have a language partner, send them a short message. You could write, "Good afternoon. How's your day going?" Oh, today I learned 2 new English words. If possible, send a short voice message instead of typing. Speaking out loud helps train your pronunciation and builds confidence much faster. Tom, don't have a language partner. No problème. Talk to yourself. Describe what you're doing. For example, I'm eating lunch. The food tastes delicious. After lunch, I'm going back to work. These simple sentences teach your brain to think directly in English. Build the habit, not the pressure. Sarah, remember, the goal isn't to study for hours. The goal is to make English a natural part of your day. Every article you read, every sentence you speak, every new word you review is another small step toward fluency. Tom, imagine filling a glass with water. 1 drop doesn't seem important. Neither do 10 drops. But if you keep adding drops every day, eventually the glass becomes full. Learning English works exactly the same way. Small daily actions create extraordinary results. Midday routine summary. Sarah, here's your midday English routine. Read a simple English article for 10 to 15 minutes. Learn 1 or 2 useful new words. Practice shadowing with a short English video. Send a message or voice note in English or speak to yourself for a few minutes. Tom, these habits don't take much time. But when you repeat them every day, you'll notice your vocabulary growing, your listening becoming stronger, and your speaking becoming more natural. Tom, great job. So far, you've built a strong morning routine and made the most of your midday breaks. Now, it's time for the afternoon. For many people, this is the hardest part of the day. Maybe you're feeling tired. Maybe your energy is lower. Or maybe you've already had a long day at work or school. And that's completely normal. The good news is, your afternoon English practice doesn't have to feel like studying. Instead, it should feel light, relaxing, and natural. Sarah, Roman Bertie, you don't always need a textbook to improve your English. Sometimes, the best classroom is the world around you. Everything you see, everything you hear, and everything you do can become an English lesson. Let's show you how. Describe your surroundings. Tom, one of the easiest and most effective speaking exercises is simply describing what's around you. It sounds simple. Vicosity. Look around and speak in short English sentences. For example, the sky is bright today. There are many people in the park. A child is riding a bicycle. The weather feels warm. I'm sitting near the window. You don't need difficult vocabulary. Simple English is powerful English. Sarah, this exercise trains your brain to think directly in English, instead of translating from your native language. You begin connecting English words with real-life experiences. The more often you do this, the faster English becomes a natural part of your thinking. At first, it may feel slow, but after a few weeks, you'll notice something amazing. English words will come to your mind automatically. Listen while you do everyday tasks. Tom, another excellent afternoon habit is passive listening. This means listening to English while doing something else. For example, while cooking dinner, cleaning your room, walking outside, doing the laundry, or even exercising. Play an English podcast, an audiobook, or one of your favorite lessons from Easy English Daily. Sarah, don't worry about understanding every sentence. Just keep listening. Think about how children learn their first language. They hear thousands of conversations before they speak fluently. Your brain learns the same way. The more English you hear, the more familiar it becomes. Little by little, your listening skills improve naturally. Tom, here's an important rule. Listen more. Stress less. Many learners become frustrated because they expect to understand everything. You don't need to. If you understand 50 or 60% today, that's already progress. Tomorrow, you'll understand a little more. And next month, even more. Join real English conversations online. Sarah, the internet gives us incredible opportunities to practice English. Find online communities about topics you enjoy. Maybe you love cooking, travel, musique, ma vie, sport, photographie, or technologie. Read what people are saying. Then leave a short comment in English. Tom, it doesn't have to be long. Something simple like, I really enjoyed this video. This recipe looks delicious. I can't wait to watch this movie. Great advice. Thanks for sharing. These short comments help you practice real, everyday English. And because you're talking about something you enjoy. Learning feels fun instead of stressful. Think in English. Sarah, here's a challenge for you. For the next 5 minutes, try thinking only in English. Ask yourself simple questions. What am I doing right now? What will I eat for dinner? How do I feel today? Then answer those questions in English. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep thinking. This small habit trains your brain to stop translating. And that's one of the biggest steps toward fluency. Every small step matters. Tom, sometimes learners say, I'm only practicing for 5 minutes. Does it really make a difference? The answer is absolutely. Imagine planting a tree. You don't see it grow in one day, or even 1 week. But if you water it every single day, one day it becomes strong and beautiful. Your English grows the same way. Every sentence you speak, every podcast you hear, every comment you write is another drop of water helping your English grow. Afternoon routine summary. Sarah, let's review your afternoon routine. Describe your surroundings in English. Listen to English while doing everyday activities. Write short comments in English online. Spend a few minutes thinking only in English. These simple habits help you practice without feeling like you're studying. Tom, by now, English is becoming part of your everyday life. And that's exactly what successful learners do. You've done an amazing job today. You've learned how to practice English in the morning. Make the most of your midday breaks. And turn your afternoons into natural learning opportunities. Now, let's finish the day with a simple but powerful evening routine. Evenings are not about learning lots of new information. They're about reviewing, reinforcing, and building confidence. Think of your evening routine as giving your brain one final reminder before you go to sleep. And believe it or not, your brain continues organizing what you've learned while you're sleeping. So, a few minutes of English before bed can make tomorrow's learning even stronger. Watch English for fun. Sarah, one of the best evening habits is watching something you truly enjoy. It could be a YouTube video, a télévision show, a short documentary, or even one of your favorite lessons here on Easy English Daily. Learning should never feel like a punishment. When you're enjoying yourself, your brain learns faster. Tom, if you're a beginner, start with English subtitles. Listen carefully. Notice how native speakers pronounce words. Pay attention to common expressions. After 5 or 10 minutes, try turning the subtitles off for 1 or 2 minutes. Challenge yourself. Can you understand the conversation? Even if you catch only a few words. You're improving. Every time you listen, your ears become a little stronger. Keep an English journal. Sarah, now let's talk about one of the most effective habits for improving your English. Reading. Don't worry. You don't need to write long essays. Just write a few simple sentences about your day. For example, today was a productive day. I learned 2 new English words. I listened to an English podcast this morning. After work, I watched an English video. Tomorrow, I want to practice speaking for 10 minutes. That's enough. Dumb. Writing helps you remember vocabulary. It improves your grammar naturally. And, most importantly, it teaches you to express your own thoughts in English. The more you write, the easier speaking becomes. Because both skills work together. End the day with a quick review. Sarah, Before you go to bed, spend just 2 or 3 minutes reviewing today's vocabulary. Open your notebook or your flashcard app. Read today's new words one more time. You don't need to memorize them perfectly. Just remind your brain that these words are important. This simple review makes it much easier to remember them tomorrow. Dumb. Sometimes people think learning happens only while they're studying. But that's not true. A lot of learning happens after you finish, especially while you're sleeping. That's why a short review before bed is so powerful. Weekend English routine. Sarah. Now let's talk about the weekend. Weekends give you something very valuable. Time. You don't need to rush. You can relax, explore, and enjoy English in different ways. Dumb. One of the best weekend activities is joining an online English conversation group. Speaking with other learners helps you build confidence. Don't worry about making mistakes. Everyone is there to learn. Every conversation teaches you something new. Every mistake is another step toward fluency. Sarah, you can also watch an English movie, read a simple story, listen to longer podcasts, or even spend an hour reviewing everything you learned during the week. Weekends aren't about working harder. They're about practicing deeper. Set small goals. Dumb. Before your weekend ends, take 1 minute to set a goal for the coming week. Keep it simple. For example, I will learn 5 new words. I will listen to English every morning. I will speak English for 5 minutes every day. I will finish one English story this week. Small goals are easier to achieve. And every small success builds confidence. Sarah, remember, consistency always beats perfection. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. One day at a time. One lesson at a time. One conversation at a time. Final motivation. Dumb. Let's take one final look at your complete English routine. Morning, wake up with English, review vocabulary, and use your phone in English. Midday, read simple English, learn 1 or 2 new words, and practice shadowing. Afternoon, think in English, describe your surroundings, and listen while doing everyday tasks. Evening, watch English videos. WRITE in your journal and review your vocabulary. Weekend, speak with others. Enjoy longer English activities. And set goals for the new week. Sarah, imagine following this routine every single day. Not for 1 week. Not for 1 month. But for an entire year. How much would your English improve? The answer is more than you can imagine. Fluency isn't created overnight. It's built through thousands of small moments. Every podcast you hear, every sentence you speak, every page you read, every word you write brings you 1 step closer to your dream. Powerful Audrey call to action. Tom, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We hope this daily routine helps you make English a natural part of your life. Remember, you don't need perfect English to start. You just need the courage to practice every single day. Sarah, if you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to Easy English Daily. And turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new lesson. Share this video with a friend who is learning English. and let's grow together as a community. Tell us in the comments, which habit will you start today? We'd love to hear from you, Tom and Sarah together. Thank you for watching Easy English Daily. Keep learning. Keep practicing. Keep believing in yourself. Andre Montbert. Every single day is another chance to become a better English speaker. See you in the next lesson. Bye for now.